Hello, the world, and welcome to the album sharing sessions.
Yo, what's going on? What's up?
Tri-weekly podcast where we sit down and assign each other albums to listen to, then sit down and review them and talk about them, and normally get pretty off topic and become unhinged at a certain point. But
the longer we've been doing this is what, episode
21, ironically enough.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, the longer that we've been doing this, the more
unprofessional we've become.
Yeah, exactly.
I could not be happier, truthfully. Our unhinged episodes are my favorite every time. Like, editing back and going through them, I was like, how did we get to... Last episode, we talked about John Lennon beating his wife.
I don't remember.
I did. Yeah, it's been a minute since we recorded, but I do vaguely remember that.
I was like, I know the tangent we got on to get there, but the fact that we got there when we were talking about the home team...
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that even come up?
Bands that should have been canceled.
Uh,
We brought up the Beatles and Red Hot Chili Peppers and blah, blah, blah.
That's
blah,
right.
blah.
That's right.
But hi, I'm Tristan, and my friends and I have problems. This is Timmy.
I don't know if that's an intro or if you're just saying that.
I'm just saying. This is Timmy, and everything he puts his hand, or everywhere he puts his hand, there's always a Reese's there. It's like a superpower. Not about an eating disorder
like
anymore. And bitch, this is Avril Lavigne.
So you're leveling up your conjuration.
Oh boy.
Reese's.
So, it's been a month.
Yeah, it has. Recording wise.
Yeah.
Like YouTube.
I'm really
Wise,
broken
it's the
because,
same.
like, Ulysses just put his comments up yesterday of, like, his reviews, and I was like, it's been a month since I've even listened to any of these.
The previous episode, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or actually, I've unwillingly listened to What You Know over and over and over again because I'm noticing it a lot.
I told you.
I'm noticing
told you.
it played 3 times in one shift. And I was like, okay.
It's a song. It kind of flies under the radar until like once you realize it's what it is, then you'll start to pick up on it.
But yeah,
it's not like directly in your face, but.
So how's it been? You went to Florida?
Yeah, I did. I went to our yearly trip for our vacation, which is in Destin, Florida. Well, really Fort Walton, but Destin's like 10 minutes away.
Mm.
So, yeah, we had a good time. It was pretty fun. I'm a little tan, sort of.
I see it. You're not pale.
And then also we're recording this hours after my work, so I figured I would switch it up and go with the loudest shirt I have instead of the, plain black. So
The not straight from work thing. I felt weird doing it for. We're doing it later in the day too. Not that it's not summer and that we'll ever get dark, but yeah, we're still here. Update to the last episode. Housing stuff. It's ups and downs. I'm still right here. Still working on it. That's it. Timmy, what's been going on?
Not a whole lot. Same as usual, I guess.
Yeah.
Been playing Oblivion. Another game called Peglin.
I saw that. I was like, what is this?
I think you guys would like it. It's a roguelike Peggle game.
Oh, interesting.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, I think you would like it a lot.
Because I've been playing a roguelike deck building game that came out recently too, Monster Train, the sequel too.
I seen that somewhere. I haven't seen anything of the gameplay. But
It's just Monster Train. Like, I know you probably didn't play the first one, but like it's just that, but better.
Interesting.
True humans people freak out about it.
Yeah, I fall into that trap of the deck building roguelites. But they have to be good though. Like, it's not just any deck builder roguelite will get my attention. But like Slay the Spire, I love. Like Monster Train's good. Inscription's a lot of fun. Although Inscription's a little different, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to check that out. Peglin.
Peglin, it's real good. It's the like games, like the runs are really short. It's only like 3 main levels that have like a bunch of small levels that you play Peggle through.
So doesn't take like over an hour?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Like it's one of the first ones where I'm actually like getting to the end and beating it. Because usually I fall into the trap of a roguelike and then I never beat it.
They are dangerous. Like their upgrade path, like you just feel that constant dopamine rush of getting. You just got to get that next unlock.
It's so fun. It's so addictive.
Yeah.
Like Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, I say. I didn't include that one because it's not like a deck builder per se.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of is,
Kind of.
but like
Has cards.
Loosely.
Yeah.
But Vampire Survivors has kind of spawned its own other genre of bullet heaven. Which I'm also addicted to those games. So.
Those are fun.
I've not been playing a darn thing.
Damn.
I started Power Washing Simulator.
Yeah, I say you've been playing like the best game ever.
I lost like an hour and a half playing it the other day.
Yeah.
Where I was sitting there with Rev, and Rev was watching Little Einsteins, and I was just like, "Oh, it's 6:30." She goes to bed at 8. I was like, "I'll play this level," and then
You gotta finish the level.
I was like, "Yeah, I'll play this level, and then I'll make dinner and go to bed." And then the next time I looked at my phone, it'd been an hour and 15 minutes, and I was like, "It's 7:45, and I have to." It's like I still have to cook dinner and put her in bed in 15 minutes.
I say actually that's not true. You don't have to finish the level. Like it has a really robust like saving system.
Yeah, it's
like,
quite nice. Really.
It keeps everything that you've cleaned.
Like I was doing that achievement challenge with Hangman, like where you have to do guess your letters that they've been doing, and the Wallace and Gromit DLC had the most that fit that. So I went straight to the last DLC that they've released, played all the way through it to get achievements that start with certain letters. I then went back and I was on the playground level cleaning, and it had exactly where I was still, and it's been weeks.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like if you like,
and I started a whole different thing.
If you go in between DLCs, special packs, challenge, like it all stays. You just can't like restart the level, obviously. Or I don't think you can start like a new campaign level. Maybe
you have to go to.
I didn't try.
You have to go to free play, but you can. It saves separately in a free play saved file. Because I went back and after I did the van first level, I've seen that there's an achievement for doing it with just the red sprayer, like the little skinny one. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, I gotta go back and do it.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing. I finished Power Wash Simulator. I got all the achievements, finished all the DLC. For now, there'll probably be another one coming out. Well, I don't know because they're
doing spray paint.
Because they are. Well, I think that's a different company, but
I thought that was them.
It's probably going to take a lot of their steez. But yeah, that game's great. It's the ultimate. Like I played that game listening to like a lot of these albums that we talk about on these episodes.
I started noticing other friends of mine starting to play it after I started, where I was like, I feel like one of them specifically was like, "What is this?" Looked into it, it's like, "Oh, that's great."
You started a jam. Yeah, it's kind of like left a void with because like, well, now what am I supposed to do? I was like, I still have because I had a lot of YouTube and stuff to catch up on when I got home from vacation. Mm-hmm. So I went through the Wallace and Gromit DLC because that was like the last. I hadn't done that one yet before I left, and I finished that one pretty quick. And I was like, "Well, now what?" Like I still have things to watch.
I thought it was
albums to listen to.
I thought it was funny that when I did the Wallace and Gromit, I was like, "Oh, I'm skipping all the way to the last DLC. There's got to be something more here." There wasn't. It's still the same game.
No. Well, do you get paid like?
Very little, but yeah.
Okay, I say because I had already had everything unlocked, but that might help you in the base game. Like you can buy the better equipment and stuff earlier.
I have not bought a darn thing. So I was going to do a segment that screwed me last time I did it, where I introduced a thing, kind of like we did with Bloodywood, but it got me blocked in like Russia or something.
All right.
Where I show you guys a thing. Have you guys been hearing this stuff about a band called President?
Yeah. No. Well, I've heard their name, and like the metalcore subreddit just won't allow like anything that has to do with them to be posted because they're not metalcore.
Okay.
That's I guess I've heard different things than you have. But.
They're getting definitely discourse about like industry plants and blah 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 blah. I don't know why they wouldn't be allowed in the metalcore subgenre.
The metalcore mods are really like they'll remove like.
Do they allow Sleep Token?
Well, that was one of the big bands that like a couple of years ago. There was a lot of discourse on the metalcore subreddit because the mods were just going like removing like Spirit Box, like nope, you can't post that. Like bring me the right, nope, gone.
So
and
gatekeeping metalcore.
Sleep Token was another like big one. Architects was like can't post that. It was mostly like anything popular or what they deemed as not metalcore.
So when Green Day sold out, kind of thing, where like they stopped being able to play the small venues because they sold out.
Pretty much. Like, okay. I'm still I'm still a part of that subreddit, but it's really gone downhill since.
That sounds like it.
The mods is really like just drove it into the ground.
So, I'm gonna intro it a little bit because I think it's kind of neat. Band name President. They're doing the mask thing. You're not supposed to know who they are. If you know who Sleep Token is at all, they go by Vessel 1, 2, 3, and 4. They wear masks. You're not supposed to know who they are.
I see.
Kind of like Slipknot when they started. But they're now like
Slipknot
30 years into their career.
Slipknot had like code names based on their mask.
Yeah. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then also they had Clown and but one of those. They're a mystery band. But they popped up on the Download Festival. It's a big rock festival in Europe.
Yeah.
That just with no songs released, nothing. Just they're there. People started doing some digging. This was their entire Twitter profile for a while, and I'll find a way to put this in the video. But just that. And people are just like, what is this?
It looks like the control font.
And it does. So then when you go to any of these festivals' websites, you can normally click on a little blurb for the band. They'll show like a picture, and they'll be like, this band is known for this, they hail from this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
This just said, citizens, the time has come, no names, no past, no distractions, only a mission ahead. At Download Festival, the inauguration will begin, not with words, but with actions, not with empty promises, but with undeniable force. There will be no campaign, no debate, no opposition, only one truth: President has arrived. The oath will be taken, the people will decide, history will be made. That is everything everybody knew about this band.
Okay.
So then they're on a pretty heavy stage as well, like in the thing. So like inauguration rally is Download Fest, and then they posted this little snippet. Because for some reason I still fall for this stuff. I like it quite a bit. They posted this shortly after, where people started trying to think it was like Deftones stuff because crosses. People are still trying to figure out what this band was, who it is, blah blah blah. Because clearly being able to be put on Download Festival, there is a name there, some kind of promotion. Just with the simple fact that exists. But now they have a song, and I was going to show that song because I think it's pretty cool. But there are a lot of people online that are quite mad that this even exists for some reason. Like some parts of the world thinking that they're just trying to rip off how popular Sleep Token is. And then, yeah.
I don't know anything about Sleep Token.
Very popular. They're /1 artist in the world right now.
Really?
On Billboard, yes, and
they're weirdly popular. I don't really get it.
I've never heard of them until now.
They are a pop / R&B / metal /
they used to be more metal, but like they've kind of sold out in a way.
Well, I hate everything metalcore, so might be part of why.
It's strange, but I think knowing who it is too kind of ruins. I don't know who Sleep Token is. I know people looked it up and doxed him. Like, I know that.
Well, that's lame.
It is lame because they've even now made songs about it where it's just like, you guys are screaming my name, my real name, trying to get a rise out of me, and like.
Oh, Ghost. That's another band like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the main singer is like Papa, or well, he has a new character each album.
Yeah.
But then like the backing members are just like
They're just
Ghoul
tall.
One or whatever.
I've been listening to a little bit of Ghost.
They were also had a #1 album a couple weeks ago. The mystery band thing is big
Yeah.
currently. But I made a song 9 days ago. It's called In the Name of the Father. I've got an ad right now for Liberty Mutual. But this is already almost at 1 million views in 9 days, and it is their first song.
Damn.
Ever. So we'll just play it. I'll snip in like little snippets of us reacting. We'll be a reaction channel again. I'll get blocked in Russia again.
Hooray.
But I think it's cool. This is why the metalcore society would not appreciate it. I think King of Terrors is who the publication company they are signed to are as well, which is just a side note.
I mean, it's all right so far, but like, I'm not sure.
I don't see the appeal behind the confused grandpa singing
Yeah.
emo music.
I don't see
That's
I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah.
I don't know why there is so much negativity, or even why it's getting as popular as it is either. That being said, I do like the song. I like the cool little mystery thing, but at the same time, there is a clear amount of polish here to where I started thinking, like, for this being their first song, this is definitely somebody that's been in the industry. Like, there's a absurd amount of polish to this and all the promotion.
Like, are you saying like the singer is like?
It could be the whole band,
Like,
but
or like you think it's a different, well-known band?
I think
or
it's like a
whatever?
super group. Also, I have a strange feeling that Jordan Fish is involved. Not that that's been confirmed in any way, shape, or form, but I hear Jordan Fish all over this. Not singing, but
The
production.
The production.
that's the song. This song's also great. But
I think that one better.
that's Midwest emo, Timmy.
I just don't like it.
Have you never heard
much at
where
all.
the chili or the Applebee's doesn't have beans or something, whatever it's called?
No.
Oh, it's great. That's a song about him singing that they're at the Chili's and they order baked beans, or his like significant other ordered baked beans, but they don't have baked beans. And then she ends up like leaving him, and then the song is like, we should have went to Applebee's or Chili's or something. I'm probably missing up the restaurants, but it's great. But yeah, I mean, the problem with them and that one specifically is that everybody's pretty sure who it is.
So who is it?
I think that ruins the fun, so I didn't know if that was going to be something I said or not. But the internet is convinced that it is somebody who just won a Masked Singer in the UK. So like they kind of made it to where people were trained to hear their voice in a mask.
Yeah.
But the guy that everybody thinks it is like Charles Simpson or something. And he is one of the singers of Busted, the band that originally did Year 3000, that Jonas Brothers song. But also
What?
Fight Star is a band of his.
Wait. Is that... Hold on. Is the Year 3000 a cover?
Yes. Of a Busted song.
Jonas Brothers covered that.
Mm-hmm.
Just blew my mind.
There's like a Jonas Brothers type sounding trio from the UK named Busted that he hypothetically might be from, but also he then branched out from that band, made a band called like Fight Star or something that sounds like that. But I thought it was cool. We talk about music. We talk about heavier music than most. Figured I'd bring it up. Yeah.
So we haven't introed the albums yet.
No, we haven't. They're on the thumbnail.
They are, but...
Look at the thumbnail. We're listening to Blurryface by 21 Pilots.
Alright, I gotta go.
What else are we listening to?
Nothing Happens by Wallows.
Nothing else. We are listening to nothing, just Blurryface.
And we are also, or we did listen to Revengeseekerz by Jane Remover. Which is, I think, is that the first 2025
Yes.
album we've done?
I think recency bias clouds my vision a lot, so I try not to do new.
Well, I know like last year was just like a really good year for music, but I went
that's
on
crazy.
I went on a string of just like new release like
Yeah.
for my picks.
This year's setting itself up to also be another crazy year specifically for me. But or like this first little bit. I think every first little bit of every year is a little slow, but then when people start actually announcing stuff, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be so much.
It's
to fight for
usually
at the end.
like summer, like early falls when
Like
things
Mayday Parade's
really...
releasing 3 or something, or they're supposed to. They've released 1 so far, then like Bad Flyers coming up, and yeah, bunch of stuff.
Is 21 Pilots coming out with another album?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I saw that when I
That
was.
was my news for you guys.
Oh,
Is it really?
Is that what you were gonna tell
I
us?
sent you guys a group chat message and said, I have the best news.
I thought it was gonna be like something like a life thing.
It is! No, for Blurryface anniversary, Rock Sound announced like a tribute album where they had a bunch of different bands doing Blurryface songs. So they were doing an eye closing thing, but
Right.
after the Blurryface era of 21 Pilots, they did an eye closing thing where like every day an eye closed on the profile picture, and at the end is when they went on their hiatus and didn't go in public in a year. I kind of thought that was going to happen again because the Clancy tour just wrapped up. But when the eye closed, it didn't actually close, and they announced another album the like day before Clancy came out a year ago. So the double album Truthers from Clancy were correct, and it is a double album, and it will be out in September.
When I was like looking at reviews on the internet, there was like an album called Breach.
Yep.
And it said 2025, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. Like,
This is the year.
This cannot be.
I said in the last episode there were only going to be 2 after
I know.
this, and now there are 3.
I thought we only had 2 left.
Oh, damn.
We could listen to that. That would be difficult, though. That one's an unreleased.
What is that?
It's regional at best. It's the first one with Josh Dunn.
It's a really not great album art.
Well, yeah, it's before they were signed, and it was just him and Tyler, and 2 people just left the band. Because 21 Pilots was 3 people, and Josh wasn't a part of it. But that one has half of what's on Vessel and like some other unreleased stuff that's never been. That's really good.
Don't believe you.
So the order which we're going to go with today is that we're going to start with Blurryface. Even though it's the most popular, even though it's the oldest, even though it's like... I have no order.
I expected that to be the climax
It's
of the
not.
video.
Well, is it because we're going to talk about Blurryface a lot? It'll give us a break.
Some
Like,
part of
when
me
we-
was wanting
Oh.
it to be...
I don't. Should we say like to keep an eye on the
Yeah,
the new video?
we're trying something new, and in a couple weeks, I'm probably going to release like a... I had them do some homework and do like a list of their least favorite to favorite, just because it's like the most popular on this string. And maybe get like a, hey, we ranked the 21 Pilots Blurryface
Just to try and
every track. Just trying to get some views.
get some more exposure. Yeah.
Some cool little short form videos that aren't 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Look out for it.
But yeah, I'd say it'll give us a break, I suppose.
Starting with it because I think it makes a better video.
Okay.
I mean, we've also rambled for a while. Like,
Words. I have no order other than I haven't had you be last in a while. And I think
Okay.
21 Pilots first makes for a better video for the rest of the video. I don't know why.
get us all loosen up and.
Where, like, when you were yelling at me about Spanish love songs, Brandon was like, I wish we would have done this first. Kind of my...
I see.
But I'm going to get some straight up facts. No opinion. Just, like, things that are true.
Facts, no printer.
Before you guys put me on a defense. That is how I'm going to structure this. This came out May 17th of 2015. 21 Pilots has 34.6 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Honestly, I thought it'd be more.
It's been a year since they've released something, so we'll give them that. But also, before I get into this review that I wrote, or not rewrote, but took from Album of the Year, Blurryface is the first ever album ever for every single song on the entire album to be certified at least gold on billboards. Just factually true.
I've heard that, but like, what does that
Surprising.
what does that mean
It is
for the layman?
If you were to look up like on the YouTube plays or whatever on YouTube Studios, every song would be over like a lot, basically.
Like, what's the threshold?
I don't know what makes gold. I'll tell you the truth. But
Like 500K.
that, to
million.
add some opinion into it, makes me very surprised that it's this because it's 14 tracks. Like, it's not like a little 8 song or like a 10 song or
Right.
like even Hometown is hit has at least hit certified gold. Not a single, not anything, just on the album.
That's kind of odd that they like track that through YouTube.
It's not through YouTube only. It's
Just
through
is it streams like total?
and yeah. So the album, once it hits so many streams, like it used to just be album sales when it was like iTunes but now Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music has taken over so much of the music listening experience that they had to start factoring in streams. Which might just be like I don't know when they started doing that, but it might just be lucky placement. Like maybe Blurryface came out like shortly after that changed, or like. But this album
have other albums done it since?
I'm sure every Taylor Swift one has.
I was gonna say that. Surely they can't be the only one.
Maybe not just because Taylor Swift's albums are like 30 songs long for no reason, but
yeah, she also has different versions of them.
That was like that keeps her at like number 1 on album sales because the album, even though the different versions, it's still the same album. That's why she does it that way, other than making money. And
So you're coming at us with the facts instead
Yes.
of
Before-
opinions.
I need it to be known that this album is a big deal. Other than your guys' hate for 21 Pilots.
I don't think
Like, this is a popular, very, very
Okay,
successful album.
well,
A lot of people have bad taste.
Well, I say, like, I don't think that's the issue here.
No,
we're not.
I just needed it to get out of the way.
We're not.
I will forget to say that at some point.
We're not saying they're not popular. Well, I think Timmy did say that. at
Timmy
one
did
point.
say that.
Okay.
He's actually
I'm not
wrong.
saying that they're. I don't hate them because they're popular. I just don't like them because I just don't like them. I just don't think. I mean, we'll get into it.
Country
but-
music is popular in some areas,
Yeah.
and I still hate it.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not discrediting
Ty still
their
gives-
gold album.
Ty still gives Timmy credit for being like early on the hate wagon for them, where he didn't like them from the start.
I didn't like him either. Like the first time I heard "Stressed Out," I was like, "Well, this is annoying."
Yeah.
And I was
You're
like,
this is great.
and I was like, I hope this don't catch on. And
It really did.
the rest is history.
So the album thing I took from actually, I'm gonna get into this just for fun because it leads into what you just said. Somebody gave it a 30 out of 100 on album sharing, or not album sharing. That's us. On album of the year, and said in quotations, "Man, popular music sucks," and asterisk, "makes the most popular album by any group ever." And then says, "I guess they weren't lying." Less so Blurryface, but 21 Pilots is also one of like 22 bands that have multiple diamond selling singles.
The single is 500,000, platinum's 1 million, diamonds 10 million.
They're one of like 20 something groups or musicians that have multiple diamonds. 2 of them are on this.
Ride and
Stressed Out. The other one's Heathens, which I did do extra credit for, but like everybody knows Heathens. Heathens is great. It's like one of the only songs that Timmy's ever defended.
I like
and then it's
Heathens.
actually okay.
I'm trying to see if there's like a list, but I can't find it. But I did get the numbers though.
Blah.
We got any more
Facts, no.
street knowledge for
No.
us, or
Not necessarily. I mean, I know all the little stupid minutia of their like lore and their like garbage stuff that not everybody has to get into. But I don't have anything.
and boy did I.
That's not in this album, by the way.
Okay, well I was gonna say I didn't even really try to like.
No, it's
I was like, there's probably like a story here,
it's so little.
but
So
I couldn't
little.
I couldn't be bothered to.
I met people at my
Me either.
I met people at my Mayday Parade show I went to. The same people I was just talking about with you guys before we started recording. But they were, I was scrolling through Facebook or Twitter or something, and they seen 21 Pilots something. They're like, what's going on with them? And I was like, do you want this to be explained? And she was like, they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I'll get into it. And I was like, they're doing like the Close Eye thing, like Blurryface thing. Their Blurryface anniversary just happened. Clancy anniversary's in a couple days. They haven't announced Breach at that point yet. But they were saying that like they listened to Blurryface and basically like jumped off ship after that. Like liked it, loved it, like went to tour to Columbus and blah 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 blah, but never went to like Trench or anything past that. And I was like, I did tell them they were missing out and that they've only made better things since, but that was like funny enough. I've created a podcast that it has somehow turned into me just trying to convince my friends that 21 Pilots is good, and they're like, "Is that the whole thing?" I was like, "No, it's not even close." But 2 of the 21 episodes.
I mean, you can try and will it into existence. I'm here to tell you, I don't think it's gonna happen.
We only listen to Blurryface because we have to.
So just for clarity, like we have a video on Trench,
yes.
And then we've also listened to Vessels,
which you guys were more positive on
before the
than Trench. That is.
Trench was like okay.
We got a 4 and a 4.5.
Yeah,
which is okay.
I figured like that was probably going to be the high bar for
I
me.
personally think it is not, but that is a different conversation.
Also, your bar is like up here and mine's like down here. So
no, this leads to Clancy and now it leads to the Breach, but currently I think Clancy's the best thing they've done. But that is just me. I also think you guys will be surprised by Scaled and Icy when we get there. But we gotta get there.
He said when.
Yeah, it's not next episode.
Not if.
I said we're finishing 21 Pilots by the end of the year. And they just made it more difficult.
Great.
I thought I was just going to be able to space it out enough.
Yeah, how many episodes do we have like in a year? Because we do one every 3 weeks.
20, or 19 or 20. It's more than you'd think.
Like we have 19 more episodes to do.
No,
or like
19
that's
in a
how many
year.
in a year.
We just passed a 1 year mark and we're at 21. We started in like March.
So I must by the end of the year he's just gonna be rapid firing them off. Like
yeah,
he's gonna run out of time.
We're gonna have a rough couple of weeks.
They kind of have to do that with Aaron West, and he only has 3.
We got 3 more to hit us with now. Once their new album comes out.
Hopefully it's good. I'm always scared of double albums. Like
it's a double album released. Like not
a year apart.
That's strange.
They've only toured since, so it's not like they've been at home at all.
I feel like the only one I can remember doing that is System of a Down.
I think it was still 2005, wasn't it? Just beginning.
Yeah, it was just a few like months apart. But you know, when I hear double album, I think
like Mosaic or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Torch of Poet Society. Whatever that album's called.
Melancholy, Infinite Sadness.
All
right. Well, I guess we have no choice.
Yeah.
I don't revisit Blurryface often.
Don't
willingly
when
or
I
like
do, I normally have a pretty good time, but it is, I will admit, mostly a nostalgia trip because it was such a big part of my 2015. Where like
it was a big part of a lot of people's 2015, whether you wanted it to be or not. At least a couple songs.
It's been a part of the general zeitgeist for the last 10 years.
Right. That's why I said willingly, because it's like, I'm probably not going to listen to this album again, but I will surely hear Stressed Out and Ride like for the rest of my life. So,
which must mean something.
It's not. It's not positive.
It doesn't mean what you think it means.
But I'll just admit that off the bat. I don't think that this is as good as anything they've released after. Just to be like 10 years retrospective.
Even the Scaled and Icy one. Because I know that's like the black sheep.
It's divisive because it's different. It's poppy, but poppy is good still. Ty, actually, we were going through, and Ty's less of a fan than I am, even though she's still a 21 Pilots fan. And like on this album, she only has Fairly Local saved. but on Scaled and Icy, she has 6 of the 11 still saved. Like, you have more than half the album for that, but like even Clancy, she only has 2 songs, and Vessel, she has 3.
It just seems strange to me. It's like, why not just keep the whole album?
She's not an album listener. She tried this group out. She didn't like it. Just a songs person. Why Fairly Local, though, is a different question. Like, of all everything on here, I don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one very much.
That being said, while this is starting negative for me, I'm still very high on this album, where like the nostalgia hits me in a way where it will like keep me awake in a car ride home if I'm tired. Like, I'll just be like singing along, having a good time.
Because it's just like so ingrained
Yes.
into your brain at this point.
I can
It's like second nature.
This album was actually stuck in my Jeep, like my first car. The car radio, ironically enough, didn't work. So I put this CD in it, and it got stuck, so I only could listen to Blurryface in it.
That sounds like a nightmare.
That is hell.
But while you say that, I was fine with it, and I still like this album, even though you would think
maybe that's the whole like crux of it. Like, you got brainwashed because like it was the only thing you could listen to.
I feel like that's what happened to a lot of people who like 21 Pilots.
So how I noticed this band or found them is that Cincinnati used to have a festival called Bunbury, and before Stressed Out or before this album or anything on this album came out, they were a part of it, and they were listed like right behind Snoop Dogg. And I was like, who the hell is 21 Pilots to be like billed right under Snoop Dogg? I was like, I've never heard of them before, and like I've heard of bands other like lower on the list. So I was like, that was just in the back of my mind, like 21 Pilots is a thing that exists. Didn't know what it was. But then Tearing My Heart was really big on alternative radio, even before, like, I think it was the second single released for this. Fairly Local being the first, by the way, and again was never put on a radio, hence the lyrics of the song.
See, that just aggravates me. Like,
Yeah.
like what?
I don't understand why that was a first single either, because it's like, I would be scared as a 21 Pilots fan being like, Fairly Local, this is the direction they're going. But Tearing My Heart's quite good. I like it. It's just, it was good for alternative radio at the time. I quite enjoy very specific, like, weird lyrics. Kind of like what pop punk shines at doing. Where, like, the whole bridge of "You fell asleep in my car, I drove the whole time, like, cursing my government, not filling potholes with cement" line is what sold me on this band.
Really?
Yeah. I like weird, oddly specific lyrics where I was like, okay, cool. And then I played that in a youth group room, just like hanging out on YouTube. And I played Tearing My Heart, and then Stressed Out played like right after that before it was gigantic. And somebody in the youth group room was like, oh, I like that song. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, I don't know. I'm playing this in a youth group room. Maybe I shouldn't, because like, I don't know what the lyrical content's like.
Yeah.
And then it was like whatever you would call Stressed Out, like a rap, whatever. And I was like, this does not sound like the alternative Tearing My Heart. What is this band? So then I came home and I started listening to this album because it had just came out. And I was like, oh, they're really good at writing like really oddly specific bridges. And like, that was pretty much it. I went to a Walmart, bought both Vessel and this because they were the only 2 CDs I could find. And kind of the end of the road for me. Seen them shortly after, got that jacket. I got to see them while they were still underground, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Or like, they were still big enough to where like, they were playing on like a 2,000 capacity, I think. Like, still pretty big. And the line for it, we got there like a couple hours early, and the line for it wrapped around the venue and into a zoo and across the thing and up a highway. And I was like, whoa. And all these people were like dressed up like them and like playing ukuleles in line. It was just like a good time. So just all of the like the growing and seeing like the underground like cosplaying fans and just like the vibe and community, I think is really what did it. But then they've only gotten better in my opinion, so it helps.
I will say, I mean, I preferred Trench to this,
Yeah,
so I
Trench
guess
is a billion times better.
I guess I agree.
I don't remember what I rated Trench.
I gave it a 4.5.
Okay.
Brandon gave it a 4. I gave it a 9.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I could have went higher.
Honestly,
I know.
I think we even said in the episode, like, wow, I thought you would have given it a 10.
I said then in that episode that I don't think 21 Pilots up to that point had made a perfect album. They have since released Clancy, and I retract that statement, but it still stands true for anything before, including this. So what are your guys' judgments?
Very repetitive in the lyrics.
There's a few songs, yeah.
I feel like most of the songs are kind of like that, where they, like Army of Lovers, they'll like come up with a thing, and then say that thing over and over, and then like have a little bridge somewhere along. But
There are
It just kinda
specifically
seems
Why are their bridges so weird?
I don't know. I like them though.
Like especially on this album, like I've never liked the stressed out bridge. Like you wake up, you got to make money. Like that's just stupid.
I hated that
Yeah.
so much.
But even in
And
that,
then-
even in that song, they have the very specific line of like having a smell that takes them back, and they'll like making a candle out of it, but only his brother would actually relate to it. Like just really super specific, out of nowhere lines.
And then like on the
And
intro,
I love it.
Heavy Dirty Soul. You know the dog inspires the rabbit.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Is it?
Chases a rabbit.
I feel like that's a better line than most of the other lines.
It is,
in
but
this,
it's very strange. Like
My thing with Heavy Dirty Soul is that he talks about zombies, and zombies using the word zombie in lyric writing is always like
yeah.
it's kind of lazy. Again, haven't done it since either, but like
I feel like a lot of the lines are just like the first thing that came to their mind,
Maybe.
and then they kept it in and didn't like work on it or improve it at all.
the track listing of this is interesting. Like I don't know if they planned it this way, but it's like the top 3 songs. It's like back to back to back. I mean, not like in order of like their popularity, but like the top 3 popular songs on this album are all.
Yeah, they are.
It's like whiplash when it's like, oh gosh, it's like.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of couldn't wait to get to like. I was like, well, when's
Something you don't know.
Yeah, when is something I haven't already heard a billion times?
I'm actually curious what streaming numbers would be on some of the other stuff. Or like I guess
Well,
Timmy
well,
has.
Tim- wanna see the
Timmy
place?
has.
Where like I'm sure it's like stressed out and whatnot. They're like 3.8 billion. So, Ride's at 2 billion. Everything else is at least at. Doubt being the lowest? No, we don't believe what's on TV is the lowest with 60 million.
That's the lowest. Gosh.
Not today is at 59. I retract. It's 1 million less.
That's crazy.
It's a big
like
deal album. We have to cover it is the problem.
The least, like the least streamed song on your album is 59 million.
Yes.
Like that's crazy.
Jesus.
If we were doing Spotify listening and whatever, and like they would probably have been the #1 artist of the time. Their popularity has dipped, other than they're still playing like rooms of 100,000 people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure like their 2015, 2016 numbers were like nuts.
Probably even after Trench, because everybody loves Trench too.
Monthly listeners.
They're not this crazy though. Like even Chlorine's, I think the biggest song off that, and it's not this big. I'm just curious what like if Tearing My Heart or Lane Boy's bigger. Lane Boy's bigger. Heavy Dirty Soul is less popular than Tear My Heart, though.
Really? Heavy Dirty Soul's like the song that like stands out for me as like I've heard it so many times
Just 'cause of the video game,
because it
right?
was on 2 video games that came out
That was the
in
last single they
2015.
released from this.
It was on Madden 16 and WWE 2K16. And boy, did I get sick of that song.
Yeah, the Heavy Dirty Soul was a song that they weren't planning on making a single and ended up being a single because it got big. Maybe because of Madden, maybe because of whatever. But that's what starts the storyline that started after that. It's a music video for that. Like a car breaks down and like leads straight into the jumpsuit music video. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll say like in general, I think I preferred this to Vessel.
yeah, that's not surprising.
And then I preferred Trench to this. So
It's
like
only gotten better.
I mean, I guess they're on a positive trajectory. Like,
Scaled and icy.
but,
It'll be
like,
even
I
more
still-
positive than Trench.
I still don't like. I'm not gonna go back to like any of these 3 albums. I mean, unless like something really happens with the Scaled and Icy and Clancy, like I don't ever like revisit these albums.
I'm excited because of for Scale and Icy whenever we get there. Not to keep talking about other albums, but because you guys don't like general 21 Pilots so much, that I think the change in pace might actually.
I mean, if it's still him singing,
He's gotten better.
If he still writes the same, cringeworthy lyrics
I don't like
that he
the
likes to do.
I would say that's also
I don't like
gotten
his
better.
singing, so I can't imagine liking anything else.
With
very much
age,
more.
I think everything has gotten better. But again, I'm a fan, so
Yeah.
who am I?
Do they have a name, like the 21 Pilots fans?
Oh, the Click.
The Click.
Well, that's boring.
That's a wrestling thing.
It just looks weird. But it says it in Fairly Local, whereas even if my Click were to vote, I don't know if that's where it comes from or if it was before that. But it's in a song. You guys catch the random Josh Dunn?
No.
Every album since this one, he says Josh Dunn somewhere in it. It's normally a little hidden. And the little breakdown for the judge when he's like, when the song like really swells, there's a random like Josh Dunn in the background.
Who's Josh Dunn?
The drummer.
Okay.
The other 10.5 Pilots.
I see.
I feel like this album's too long as well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's probably just me saying it as like I just don't enjoy it as it is. So like obviously like the longer it goes on, the less I'm gonna like it. But like I don't know. I feel like Trench wasn't quite. What's
Trench is actually a minute longer.
It is longer, but it doesn't feel longer.
Yeah.
This
I think it's also 14 tracks.
Especially towards the end, it really
Yeah.
starts to drag.
No, I could see. Honestly, 8 through 10 is where I would see as a not fan it would drag. Doubt, Polarize, We Don't Believe. I get the criticisms. Like I'll just be like, I'll be more understanding this time around. I like this album. I like it a lot. Even with like the fact of it just being a nostalgia album for me now, I still do go back to it a lot, just not as much as Trench or Scale That I See Here. There is that what I just said. I don't like those songs as much. I don't like Doubt, Polarize, or We Don't Believe What's on TV very much. We Don't Believe What's on TV was better when I first heard it. I liked it a lot, like in 2015. But 10 years have passed, and I've seen it live too many times. And like, we could probably retire. We Don't Believe What's on TV. My old least favorite song, like back when this album came out, was Hometown, where I was like, for some reason I don't like it, but with age, I really like how it swells, and I like the synth little solo that they have, or like the.
I think it's Hometown. It's either that one or Not Today. I'm pretty sure it's Hometown. That's like the one that sounds the least like 21 Pilots.
I think that's why it's my favorite of the album.
Hometown is?
Yeah. I think it's what. Yeah.
Can we play like a snippet of it?
Here's their chorus. This is what I meant.
Yeah, I would say that it sounds just less like the 21 Pilots I know.
Yeah.
Like,
It would sound better if it was sung by somebody else.
You're not wrong. I'll admit that. But that used to be my least favorite. And then I heard it playing at a random car wash once, and I was like, Hometown? Of like all the songs? And because we live in Cincinnati and they live in Columbus, anytime they do Cincinnati and not Columbus in a tour, or they play in Columbus, I go and they add this to the song, the set list and everyone, because Hometown.
Yeah.
And since then I've grown to like it, where I'm like, hey, cool, what's the Hometown part? But old me did not like that song.
the production of the album's like still their strong suit. Like they do have good production. Like this album is like over 10 years old, or like just recently, and the production still holds up pretty well. Like
At this point, it was just
if there is some positives to find here, like some of the songs didn't like totally annoy me.
Yeah.
So
That's positive to me.
There's that. I mean, I'm also just sort of numb to like stressed out at this point. It's like I hear that and like I just feel nothing. Like,
that's probably fair.
It's like, oh, it's stressed out.
There's the cool double entendre in it where I can't talk, but where he says that if it was between treehouse homes and student loans, we all would take the ladder, like a ladder to the treehouse and a ladder, like.
I didn't catch that.
I just did. I won't lie.
Was it really intentional?
Probably. Or like even me and Ty were rant. She doesn't know what we do most of the time. I don't even tell her what album we're listening to most of the time. And I was like, hey, we're doing Blurryface. But like after we had talked about this, where we had listened to Stressed Out because it was playing in a car radio at work or something for her. And somebody had brought up the fact that they thought it said Good Dope Days. And she was like, I can't believe we're still hearing this, because that's... Her little brother was like, I hate 21 Pilots. They sing about dope. And she's like, what? He's like, Good Dope Days. And she's like, that's not what they're saying.
That's also a stupid reason to hate something.
I mean, it's...
That actually...
It tracks for them.
So you can cut this out, but that explains a lot.
Yeah.
He is a cop now.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
He was also younger than us when we were out of high school by the time this came out. So like he still had another 4 years of people being obsessed with this. I'm sure people younger than us were worse than even I was.
Yeah.
On that note, I guess I'm probably going to sound really stupid for this, but I always thought it was My Name's Blurryface and I Don't Care What You Think.
No, it's I Care What You Think.
I just found that out like when I listened to it, because I think this is probably the first time I've heard any of these songs like through headphones.
Okay.
Because like normally it's through a
Speakers.
Kroger speaker. So like I just kind of thought that like there's like, you know, like it's just kind of like a gap. So like I just assumed he said, and I don't care what you think, but he says I care what you think.
That's what we were.
I mean, it changes the meaning like significantly.
Yeah.
But
Me and Ty were just talking about it, where she's like, I still don't really know what that line means, and I was like, we want to feed like really super deep into it, and I could be completely wrong, but it's just like the growing up and caring what strangers think of you, but they don't actually know you. I was like,
I took it as like, well, once I found out what it actually what the line was, I took it as like trying to seek approval from like people online, like you know, like you were saying.
President. Clicked on the wrong thing. I want to be ripped into. I was expecting worse. This isn't as bad as Vessel, I'll say that.
It's just kind of mid.
Yeah, I would say, like, we don't
I like Vessel, and, like, the fans really like Vessel, but, like, not liking 21 Pilots and going to Vessel, that is the most 21 Pilots not liking 21 Pilot thing that somebody would not like. Like, it does the most bad singing, it does the most, like...
I think I gave it, like, a 2.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I gave it.
Yeah, like, with 21 Pilots, it's, like, at least with these albums, like, they're not, like, offensively bad.
Hey.
I just don't like them. Like,
yeah, and I'll take that.
But like
they're just kind of annoying.
Yeah, they're mildly annoying, but like I can deal with them.
And they're shoved in my face a lot.
Yes, that's the main thing, really.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
That's you ever feel like there's someone like forcing you to listen to them like way more than you want to?
You know, we were doing this podcast thing or the music group thing for like more than a year before I even made you guys listen to it.
But I knew the bomb was coming at some point.
I don't know why. I did it in the order I did because
I
wanted to get like Trench out there. I should have done them in order because they're better as they go. But
I mean, I guess
first 3 episodes of the podcast, I wanted to get something in there.
I mean, I guess I have reference, like, as far as, like, I mean, we're listening to them, like you said, in the backwards order, but it's like, well, now I know, like, what they are capable of. Like, Trench is definitely much better than this.
Have you went back and listened?
I wouldn't say much.
Trench?
I have not.
You haven't, like, went back and listened to more for anything?
No. No, I have not. But I will say, like, during their time of recording, I enjoyed my time with it more than the other 2. But again, it's like, it's like, oh, let's listen to 21 Pilot. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, I only listen to them because you make me.
Yeah.
This is what it boils down to.
Weirdly enough, Doubt for some reason has gotten popular for no reason, like this year, because it got TikTok famous. But not...
That kind of sounds like it would be a TikTok song.
Not the studio, this version, the demo version. And it's, like, littered with autotune, and it, like, in my opinion, sounds bad.
I mean, that's most TikTok stuff is just filtered.
But, like, the actual demo version, where then they actually went back and released it, like, hey, if you guys want it.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a middling, like, listening for me. Like, it's not, like, offensively bad, like how Timmy thought how Timmy thought of Spanish love songs, or, like, how I thought of Kim Dracula. It's just, like, it's 21 Pilots, like, yeah.
It's better than Spanish love songs.
I don't think so, but...
Do you guys have, other than, I guess, Hometown, another, like, surprising...
well, I don't. Well,
hey,
so
I like this verse,
that's the thing with our list thing that we're doing. I
Yeah.
don't know if we should talk about it now.
It's a separate thing, so...
Or... I
Go
mean,
for it.
because I feel like the list is going to be short. Like, we're just naming in order, and then that's
I
it.
mean,
Like,
if
we're
we
not,
don't
like,
do
we're
details here, we will do details there. But also, I don't want to take away from this video.
Okay.
This is what we're
'Cause
selling. This is our main video.
Well, my second least hated song of this album, I guess, is "Tearing My Heart."
Tearing My Heart's cool.
It's all right.
I guess I'll just get into it as well. So when you were... We're always on the opposites. When you were saying how you didn't like the 8 through 10 or whatever, and you didn't like We Don't Belong on TV, that's my second least hated song.
I liked it a lot when it first came out. It's been 10 years.
Like, it's different.
Yeah.
So, like, it's got that going for it.
What We Don't... Or whatever, the TV one.
The one
is my least favorite.
I don't know, like, I don't like the stomp clap music, but, like, it kind of works in that song. Like, it's got a good bass line in it.
Yeah. Lane Boy, that little part, that's a ukulele.
Oh.
There's like there's ukulele like all over.
Yeah,
this
there
album.
is. There is for sure.
What's that song that goes like yeah?
That's We Don't Believe What's on TV.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hated that one. That's why I had it all the way at the bottom. I forgot.
It also seems like the least like 21, kind of like Hometown. It's like them trying a different style out.
I just think that's what they do anyway. Like, I think this is just me reaching and fetching, but I think a lot of like the genre fluid acts that people see today, I think owe a lot to 21 Pilots because they do all the different sounds, even if like it's not like directly. I don't remember a band not sounding like exactly like the band sounds like before 2015. Like, I don't remember a single other group to be like, hey, we're going to do a ukulele thing, then also go straight into, like, a reggae rap song, straight into, like, a synth dance song, straight into a piano ballad that ends with screaming. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think Capstan does what they do without Blurryface. I don't think, like... Truthfully,
I mean, somebody would have
I don't know
done
if,
it.
like... This is really reaching, but, like, I know Billie Eilish is a big 21 Pilots fan, and... She started making music after this album. I feel like this is the influence to make dark pop. I think that Stressed Out being what it is and like darker and Ride talking about like who you would take a bullet for and still being a diamond single is what might have influenced the fact that people now don't just... Pop isn't just like you can listen to it and get some meaning out of it most of the time now, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with the songs here becoming popular when they shouldn't have in a traditional sense. But that's just me thinking about music before and after 2015 and what is the biggest album of that year. But yeah.
Cool.
I might have broken.
I'd say I feel like you're maybe like giving it a little too much credit for like.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that.
I think there is certainly some influence, but like, I don't know to say
Just
that they
being genre fluid at all. I can't think of an act before this. I don't think Sleep Token exists. Like, I don't think.
To me, they still don't.
I just like just the way you're describing it, it's like there were no bands before 20.
No.
Like music did not exist before 2015.
There were no ones that would scream in a piano ballad and then do a rap song.
And maybe they shouldn't. That's all I'm saying.
Like no other album, I believe, and again, I am more than willing to be wrong, but you go Fairly Local, which is a very bass heavy, like almost rap type, to an alternative love song, to then Lane Boy, which is another rap one. I don't think things did that before this. But again, prove me wrong, please.
So you're saying
Audience
music has
out
gotten worse since this album has released?
Maybe. That might be what I'm saying.
You can point to the graph, like... yeah.
What's your least favorite?
My least favorite?
Yeah. Any and both.
The TV one.
Yeah.
Lane Boy.
And then
Lane Boy's your least favorite?
Yeah.
It's got the cool little drum solo bit at the end.
I don't like the reggae, like... the reggae influence on that song is like too much.
I like the little reggae bit, but that's still like one of my lower songs.
I don't actually even get the reggae and Lane Boy. I get it more in Ride and Message Man. Like, I know that it's there, but like reggae influence, I don't think of Lane Boy very much.
So why is Message Man called Message Man? Do they not know what a messenger is?
I was gonna say it's
I'm not a messenger boy. I'm a delivery boy.
He's a message man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Lane Boy's just I don't. How long is this song? Hang on.
It's like 6 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's 4 minutes. It feels like 6 minutes.
Oh, is it not?
Yeah. Like if you
Yeah, I'm wrong.
if I just had to guess,
That's
like,
a ukulele.
if you were like, hey, what's the longest song in this album? I would,
It's
without having to look up, I would say Lane Boy. I don't know if that's true or not, but like it certainly feels that way.
I think since I'm the fan, not that it's even like number one on my list that I'm gonna do. I think Not Today is slept on hard. Like, it's the only song on this album they've never played live, and if they have, it's like once or twice, and I haven't seen it. Goner is one of the best live songs I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'll give him, like, Goner's like a pretty decent closer to the album.
Oh, The Judge is the longest song on the album.
I also don't really like that song.
I like that song a lot.
That's towards the bottom of my list.
The three lights are lit and the fourth one's out.
But yeah, Goner's like it at least like closes the album well. Like, I like the scream that he does towards the end. Like, I think of the first time listening to that, it's like, where was this? Like, the whole album. Like,
There was
I could have used a little more energy, you know.
There is one of the... I actually was pretty upset going from Vessel to this because Vessel screams more, and I was just like, where's the screaming? But then listening to Goner for the first time, I was like, this needs to scream. Like, this has to go somewhere. This can't just be the piano, I'm a Goner. And then he starts screaming. I was like, I called it, and I'm so happy that I was right. But there was an album of the year review that said, why are they hiding this super emotional ballad at the end of this album? Like, did a track review of like everything was like 30 or below, and then Goner was like 80.
Well, it's the finale. Like, you gotta. I don't know if that's necessarily hiding, but hiding it would be like in the middle, like the dead zone of a lot of albums. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that was a big part of my life in 2015 is always going to be a special part of it, because like everything in my life that is still current started then. Like, that's when me and Ty started dating. That's when I started the job I'm still at. Like, anything there is going to be a nostalgia trip for me.
It's tied like directly to this album.
It's what I said when we did Vessel too, where I was like, I found those albums at the same time. We actually did that during a gimmick round of like things that bring back memories, and I was like, this is it. So I like this album a lot. It's one of my like go-to ones where I'm like, I'm falling asleep in a car ride home from a concert or something. I need something that's going to keep me up. And just singing along. And
was that supposed to be a reference to the line with the you're falling asleep in the...
No.
Oh.
But it just was what I go to. I like every song on this. enough to like never skip anything, or even if I have least favorites and more favorites, this is how music goes, especially when you're one that jumps between genres so much. I like that one. I keep saying that. I need to find an album I don't like and assign it, but what's the point of that?
Yeah, you need to join the club.
Yeah.
Randomly pick an album you haven't heard.
There are so many good albums, though.
That's not true, though. There's a lot of bad ones, too.
There are a lot of bad ones. But why would I do that?
I feel like every album you've shared is like
sometimes
8 or higher.
Yes.
I mean,
Here lately, it has been.
Me and Timmy like rolling the dice and picking albums we haven't heard. It's like, well, this could either be really good or really bad. So.
I keep telling myself I need to, and then like an anniversary pops up or something comes out. I'm like, this is the one. I'm like, I need to pick one that I don't.
If I'm like struggling to come up with an album like that's it's like, well, what's an album that I've procrastinated listening to for years?
Yeah.
It's like, or like a new thing that has come out. You know,
I'm sick of liking everything I've picked too. But it's just the time, I guess. Or even when I tried it, like Capstan, I wasn't thinking I was going to rate it as I did, and then going back to it, I was like, oh, Capstan. I was going back.
Uh-huh.
So why I never listened to Capstan, that album specifically, as much as it came out the same exact day as both Bring Me the Horizons album and Clancy.
you're talking about the Mosaic.
Yeah,
so you're
Mosaic.
talking about the Mosaic.
It also came out, I know that I listened to it, the same day as the Tortured Poets Department. Like, all of those albums came out on the same day. Capstan didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, they really should have like pushed that forward
For their sake.
or back, or so do something. I mean, I know like they probably weren't going to get much exposure anyway.
Yeah, they're not big, but like
it didn't help.
it was a very long, good album for it to just be buried by some of the biggest artists in both their scene and every scene. Do your guys' review. Actually, I'm gonna do 8.75.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I said go ahead and review, but I'm just gonna give my score. 8.75.
Okay, I didn't hear the first digit, so I thought you said a 0.75.
No.
I was like, what?
8.
Okay, that makes more sense. Well, just to go along with what I said earlier, preferred it to Vessels, but preferred Trench to this. I gave Trench a 4. So, but I do think this is marginally better than Vessels, so I'll give this a 3.5.
Okay.
I was going to give this a 3.
Okay. That tracks.
We're
What's actually
Pretty
funny is that
similar.
you gave Trench a better score than Brandon did, and now you guys have flipped.
Well, I initially gave Trench a lower score, and then I was like, well, it wasn't like that bad, I
I
guess.
didn't actually hate 20.
And I was like, I think I
I
said,
just tell
wish.
Timmy.
I think I was like, I think the bar can get lower, so
yeah.
Have you guys ever actually seen like Blurryface?
Blurryface gets a
Probably.
5.1.
I wanted to show you guys after if I showed you guys at all because it's bad.
That's a blurry looking face.
I guess.
There's eyes there and stuff. It's actually in the Clancy picture right there. On fire.
I see.
Tom Clancy.
So Blurryface started their like story bits, but so loosely where like Blurryface became the antagonist, but not in this album.
I'm not following the story like
Yeah,
at all.
no, you should.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
That's exactly how I feel
you
about
shouldn't.
21 Pilots.
I was talking to my backup at work because he's a fan as well, like knows the unreleased stuff fan. But I was talking about like, hey, they announced an album. Like, you talk about them enough, or we talk about them enough that I talked about it, and I'm saying like, yeah, they were doing the eye closing thing, and they were saying like at the end of Clancy, does this really feel like the end? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like their story. And he's like, you've been telling me this whole time I've just been singing songs and there's a story behind it.
I mean,
I was like, honestly, I might have just ruined it for you, but
that's honestly like really not the big of a deal in my
not.
opinion. Like,
it's not, and it's so loosely there. Whereas like it's in plain sight, but at the same time, it's hidden enough. Where like Scaled and Icy is an anagram for Clancy is dead. Like it's there, but like yeah.
you might like that one the most, Timmy. It's got a dragon on it.
It does have, you know what the dragon's name is?
I don't know. It looks fugly as shit though.
You know what its name is?
I don't.
Trash.
That makes sense.
That's Trash the Dragon.
All right.
I got Ned back here too. If you wanted the other ugly creatures from
Oh yeah, that thing.
21 Pilots.
Why did that exist?
That's Chlorine Guy.
Yeah, it drinks pool water or something.
Lore-wise, there's a lot of what Ned is and what he does. Oh, I got my Dema letter too back here. My Dema letter. That was the thing that announced Clancy. I got Citizen from the municipalities of Dema. Their evil city. So I'm a fan.
I can tell it's evil because the name sounds like demon.
Ooh.
That's
It's actually it's something in Latin. It's like it's Latin for like something about the fight with fame or something. Like everything with 21 Pilots is a layer deeper than you think it might be.
I just always think of
that's still pretty shallow.
Or like even the name itself is like some kind of old fable where like there was a guy that like had a business where he was selling plane parts, and like he knew the plane parts were faulty, but he could send them out and make money, or not send them out and lose his contract and whatever else. And he sent out the parts, and 21 Pilots died. Like everything is just this much deeper than you think it might be.
That's still a very shallow pool.
You're a shallow pool.
I always think of Edema, like the new metal band. Like whenever you say that, like Jonathan Davis's brother or something.
Yeah. Revengeseekerz.
Revengeseekerz.
A Jane Remover. Came out April 5th, 2025. When did you start making us listen to it? It's been a month ago.
Yeah, like it was like hot off the presses. When did we record?
I don't even know. It's been out for almost 2 weeks. It was a month ago probably today. 4 weeks ago today, at least. So if you go 4 weeks back from today on a calendar.
I mean, yeah, the album was probably only out a couple of weeks at that point.
Jane Remover has 437.8 thousand monthly listeners. If I said that right. 437.8 thousand.
All right.
437. Long numbers confuse me.
Do you have a?
I do.
Do you have an album of the year review?
I do. It's a 0.
Damn.
There's a lot on the 21 Pilots one that are just 0 and just say like fuck this album or like.
Yeah, they don't really filter on that website much.
There's a lot of like my ex-girlfriend liked this album 0. And like
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I laughed at a lot of them.
Like they don't vet the reviews. It's like the Wild West.
There's the Tyler the Creator one that said good album and it gave it like a 20. But it says, "Hi, my name is Jane Remover and I will sample gunshots, Fortnite pings, UFOs, Sonic, and women screaming on my album, and you will like it."
They forgot Pokemon.
Are they just listing stuff?
That's like the sample gets used in every song. So yeah, this album caught it caught on like fire, much like the album cover. That's kind of what drew me in. I was like, well, this album cover is like this goes hard, and it was reviewing very well on Rate Your Music. It was like number 3, number 2, like top of 2025. Like at the time, it's fell as more albums have come out, but
last month.
It definitely
I don't visit Rate Your Music.
I
very
look
often.
at it like every day, so I'm pretty like in tune with like what all the music snobs are listening
Is that why
to.
you keep recommending all this weird shit?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But and then Fantano had a review for it. He really liked the album, so
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was like, oh, check it out. I was looking at the genres. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means, so I just listen to it. I don't know. Like it's like, well, okay. So I listened to the song with Danny Brown, Psycho Boost, first, like before I was like, well, before I made the commitment of listening to the whole album, just to see if I was like, well, I like Danny Brown, and he does a lot of cool features. Not actually the first time we're reviewing an album with the Danny Brown feature.
Nope. I've only ever heard Danny Brown on features.
And I was like, wow, it's this is crazy. Like, I haven't heard anything like this in quite some time. So then I listened to the album, and now we're here. And I made you guys listen to it too.
There was a lot on the review or album of the year for some reason. I keep not naming the name, but like saying like the specific genres and being like, I don't know why you guys like this and this genre and you guys don't like this and this other genre, and I've never heard of any of the names or the genres.
It's just like a
I was like, this just sounds like this person, this person, this person, this. I was like, what are any of these? Like, I'm out of my own world. Like, this is not the language I speak.
Yeah, this album, this is certainly like a chronically online type of album, much like 100 Gex. In a way, like I feel like you have to. It has a very niche audience. Let's just say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where 100 Gex makes it a little more accessible, and I think they have a much bigger audience.
Yeah, like exactly. I mean, there's really not much else to say about like 100 Gex. As not accessible as they are, is more accessible than it's like the iceberg meme. Like, it's like
of whatever genre they want to call this.
This like it's hyper pop, but not really. Hyper pop's more like what Charlie XCX is doing.
Mm-hmm. That makes more sense.
Digicore is another thing I was hearing, and I don't know what that is supposed to mean.
Those words make sense to me. I've never heard of it.
Exactly.
It sounds like Digimon, which already has me in.
I guess it's supposed to be like digital, like electronic core. That's my interpretation of it. I mean, that's what this sounds like. So.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Apple Music listed as hip hop and rap, which I don't really agree with.
I think that's accurate.
There is some hip hop.
You can't list a billion genres, I guess.
I mean, you could just say electronic.
Yeah. That does.
That would cover the bases.
Actually, my Apple Music just says alternative.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That also kind of makes sense.
Interesting. What? Does it really?
Yeah, it just says alternative 2025.
That's weird.
But also the little bio they have for this album also says like Midwestern emo and pop punk. And I don't get that at all.
Well, so Jane Remover has like some other projects that like I don't know. It's like you might also like. They have a group called Venturing, which is that. It's just more like Midwest emo.
Do
and
they
stuff.
sing about chili and baked beans at all?
I don't believe so. I
don't like it.
I listened to like half the album and kind of got bored because it wasn't really anything like this. So, but that album came out like a few weeks before this one did. So they're busy. Yeah, they're dropping albums under different names in the same year.
That is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, this album is very high energy, I guess is putting it lightly.
Listening to it gave me a headache.
I was doing I have this thing in my brain where if I do the same thing for too long, I get annoyed. And I was doing an inventory, and I was like, this is taking a little longer than normal. I was listening to this at the same time. I was like, I'm going to try something. I turned off this, had a much better time. I was like, it was the music giving me a headache.
Yeah. I think I was just like laying in bed listening to this. And
this is not an album to do that to.
It put you to sleep?
Yeah. It kept me awake.
I mean, it's not. You can't really hold that against the. Like, it's not meant for that.
Well, no, but I listened to it in other circumstances, and I still got a headache from it.
I mean, there are albums that happens to me, like
21 Pilots.
What?
I mean, actually no, but I was like, do you know the album Jane Doe by Converge? No. It's like the biggest, like...
I know the cover.
Yes, you've seen the cover. I've tried to listen to it multiple times. Cannot get past like the first two songs because I just get a headache immediately. It's it's like the grandfather of all metalcore albums.
I'll probably never listen to it because
can't do it. Like it just hurts me.
Finn McKinney talk about Converge all the time, and apparently he never listened to them.
He's a poser.
He's like, oh man, I love Converge, and now I know that he's never actually listened to anything he talks about. I'm like, maybe I should never try to listen to this.
Yeah, I've tried on a lot of separate occasions, and it's just it's too much for me. And that's saying a lot because I like this album, and this is also I understand it's a lot to
You
take
introduced
in.
it as abrasive.
Yes. Would you say that that's
It lived up
accurate?
to that.
Right, it's like scraping your knee on pavement abrasive. So I didn't hate it.
You didn't even describe Spanish love songs like that.
Well, that was worse.
That's great. There are spots. Oh, go ahead.
Okay,
Have the floor.
I think I at some point said something about how I don't like when bands will like sample things and put it in and like it doesn't fit or anything. That's kind of like what this band does the entire album.
Yeah, this is just like
Samples
samples the album.
Yeah.
Which we said on the last episode or two, I think it was maybe the Tyler the Creator one. It's like there is an art to sampling.
Yeah.
I think they pull it off well. They overuse the Palkia Pokemon cry.
That's not what that was.
Yes.
I didn't pick any of these up just that I knew they were. I was getting as soon as I like typed in. I make everything for these. As soon as I started like typing in on Google like Revengeseekerz, whatever, to get the clip art to put in the last episode, I start getting recommended stuff every time. And so my YouTube feed shorts started being like, look at all these Jane Remover samples, and I never picked out a single one.
Yeah, this part. That's Palkia. And it's all over the album. Like it's used in different ways, but that's like the most like clear example of it.
There's like Mario Kart stuff and like
I noticed Fortnite clips.
Yeah, there's they use the Fortnite whatever it is, like the Fortnite sound. You guys play it more than I do.
I don't remember what it was, but it was very familiar.
It's in Fade Outs, I think. Yeah, Fade Outs is. I just kind of refer to that one as the Fortnite song.
That makes sense.
But yeah, then there's like, I think they sample like Pokemon Stadium or something, like one of those GameCube games. In one of the songs, it's like, and now they strike with double edge. Like you just hear that in the back. Yeah. Like I said, very terminally online. This album.
Yeah.
There are parts of it that I liked, and most of it that I didn't. And I quite like the Danny Brown feature. I think
Psycho Boost is great.
The chaoticness of like specifically his last verse.
Yes.
Is really good.
His second verse is what sold me on the album.
Not that I understand anything that's said.
No, I don't either. But it sounds nice.
Experimental Skin, I believe, has a crazy bass drop thing.
Yeah.
That is also used in the 303's best song. But I was able to be like, hey, that sounds like the 303 song I like.
Experimental Skin builds and builds, and that was the thing I just played. That was from that song. But yeah, it builds and builds and builds in the last minute. Yeah, like you said, like in the bass drops, that's a highlight of the album for sure.
But then, yeah, I don't know. At a certain point, I just want to turn it off because it gets to be too much.
It's like, I don't know. Like for me, it was like kind of addicting to listen to, just to like try and like find the samples and like they are a talented producer. So I mean, like, I think that there was a video that was recommended to me on YouTube. I hadn't checked it out. I was meaning to watch it before we came over here, but it was like why Jane Remover's production is so intoxicating, which I think would help me explain a lot. Like,
yeah, probably
because it's just like I kept going back to the album like over and like even though like I pretty much had my mind made up about it. I don't know. Like it was just a fun listen. Like I didn't it didn't cause me physical harm like it did to you guys. So I guess I just got lucky there. But
I know there are parts of Genius where I'd be like, okay, I get this, and then there are other parts where I'm like, I don't know why you don't like Kim Dracula.
Because there's like structure to this.
I didn't see any structure.
There is. I promise you. Like if you like critically listen to it, like there is structure to it.
It's like that like saying where like they thought so hard of that they didn't think they should with all the samples and all of the chaoticness.
I feel like all the samples are just really overwhelming and unnecessary. I feel like a lot of the samples just don't add anything to the song.
I see. I disagree. I think they add a charm and character to the songs.
At the same time, I understand why the internet music slobs are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Or like I see this and I'm like, this seems like an album for somebody that is bored of normal music, and I'm just not bored of normal music.
I think maybe that's what it is. I think you're onto something here.
Like maybe I don't like it yet, but maybe at some point down the road I'll be like, hey, what's something completely different?
Because I like that kind of stuff usually. Like, who's doing the weirdest shit? Like, like I need a break sometimes. It's like, because I've made you guys listen to Death Grips and Kara Kara Bonito.
Which, like, weirdly enough, are like the least reviewed things we've done.
And 100 Gex, and it's like...
I think Money Store was the least for a long time.
It was like the least. It was the most hated album at the time. But yeah, I like a break per se, like from just the normal like cycle of music. So when something like this comes along, it's always refreshing for me anyway. Like like they're doing something, totally off the wall, and I can dig it.
Yeah, no, I thought this was gonna be a fun one to review because my brain is like, I get it, but I don't like it. Like, I can sit back and be like, you know what, I understand. Like, the terminally online music listener is going to like this. Just not me.
Yeah, like, I don't think by year's end that this will be like my 100 Gex of 2023, where that was probably my favorite album of the year. I like this album a lot, but like, I don't see it being like in the top 3, maybe. Like, it'll probably be on my top 10 at the end of the year. But like, I don't feel super strongly about it as I did 100 Gex or like, I mean, I don't think a Magdalena Bay type album's going to come out this year that like totally just...
Hey, The Breach, September.
Well, like I said, I don't think... But I mean, it's a pretty solid, fun listen to that I'm definitely going to go back to. I like this... Like I said, I just couldn't get enough of it. Like, I haven't even... Like, Star People is my favorite song on the album, and that's one we haven't talked about yet.
This album does the thing where it sat in my pocket for most of the time. Okay.
I like it specifically for the outro, like the ending part, when it like slows down. There's no like drums and bass or whatever. Yeah, this part.
Stone cold samples.
Yeah.
It's just glass breaking, but... Okay.
Just like when the little guitar, like I think it's just a guitar, like that's my favorite part of the album. And it's weird because, like, in Fantano's review, he has that as his most disliked track. Okay. I'm like, you're on crack, Fantano.
He also gave Even in Arcadia a 2, so more people think he's on crack.
He doesn't like Sleep Token. I mean,
I get it, though.
I haven't really tried to listen to Sleep Token outside of their big song and a couple of their older stuff before they got popular.
The song's so good, though.
It is a good song.
Suffering needs to be made more. More people need to make songs like The Suffering. But if you do ever check it out, then I kind of was thinking about doing it for the podcast because it's the biggest artist in the world right now. But I'm not, just spoil. But the singles from it are pretty good. The new one.
I don't think I've heard anything from the new album.
It's pretty good. Or at least the singles are pretty good. There's another song on it called Dangerous. It has a really cool, like, little funky line behind it.
I do like some funky. So some other... I like Professional Vengeance a lot, too. Just not the ending of the song. Where it's just, like... That does sound like a mess. Like, I hate the outro of that song. Which is a shame, because it's, like, one of the better songs up until that point. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do you want me to play it, or do you know...
I don't remember what any of the songs sound like.
Okay.
I couldn't differentiate them at all. That is a mess. I know Danny Brown doesn't sound like Jane Remover.
Professional Vengeance ends like this.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. This does have like some parts that I do like.
See, that's too much. Like, I don't like that. Like,
Really?
there's no structure to that. It's just loud
I feel like that
clicking.
has more structure than most of the songs.
You're on crack, like Fantano.
There's a backtrack to it, so there's at least like a steady beat behind it. I kind of see where you're at. It has that.
That's like too in your face. I
feel like most of these songs are like watching like 10 episodes of different shows on one TV screen. And then sometimes
That's pretty
there's
good.
a little something
Playing
different.
Fortnite
That's pretty good.
Mario
actually.
Kart and Fortnite all at the same time.
And you got your
Yeah.
your DS out playing Pokemon Pearl. Like,
I like that one.
yeah.
This was a fun one to review.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
That's. Is it fair to say of my experimental albums? Oh, well, no. I would say you guys probably liked 100X the
100X
most.
is good.
Yeah.
I want to check them out more.
I forgot about that because like 100. I've listened to that album so many times it doesn't sound experimental anymore. Yeah. It's like it's like it's just
Doritos and Fritos played in the car the other day, and Ty was like, "What in the hell is this?" And I was like, "I actually really like this song."
She was in the group when we reviewed that. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
I think she was.
Well, if she was, then she didn't listen to it.
I'm pretty sure she was in the group. Like that was maybe one of the last albums.
And I was like, "Oh, actually, this is my favorite from this album." She's like, "Really?"
But yeah, like it's kind of, I guess, wore out the novelty where it's just like I just listen to it just because I like it. Like
you
just,
want 26 minutes of fun.
just to listen to it, not just because it's weird. It's just because I like it.
So I get it. I understand the fan base. There are parts of it I do appreciate, but parts, emphasis. I'm going to go with like a 2.5.
It's certainly like it gets repetitive. I will admit like there's only so much of the the sampling and the drops that you can take, but like overall I think it's a pretty strong effort. Like I said, I do like this album quite a bit, just not like I'm not like super high on it, but like it's like a solid 8 for me.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I don't know.
So
See, like with an album like this, it's weird to be like in the middle because it's like it's very like you either love it or you hate it.
I'm kind of in the middle, lower middle though. Unfortunately, like I give it a 4.5.
Okay.
But I feel like I would need some Tylenol to revisit this album.
What did you give it, Tristan? 2.5.
Yeah. There is a song on it that is not explicit.
It's a 5,
which is crazy surprising to me.
Dark Knight Castle, the only song that doesn't have the explicit. That's the slowest song on the album.
I'm just really surprised.
I don't even know what was said that was explicit in the song.
There's so many words.
There's a lot, yeah. I mean,
bitch doesn't make you explicit, but his intro is bitch. She's Avril Lavigne. Why that's a line? I don't know if that's like just random or if it's like trying to say that they are the new Avril Lavigne after she was killed in that conspiracy theory or whatever.
They're on some George Michael shit.
Next, we are listening to 13 Reasons Why.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing Happens by Wallows. Came out March 22nd in 2019. They have 8.8 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
How many?
8.8 million.
Million. Oh my god.
Yep. 13 Reasons Why. This is their first album as well. I do feel like they've got a more... I haven't heard anything. But like...
I didn't know they were that popular.
Yeah.
Like, when Timmy... Like, when you said Wallows, I was like, well, I don't know who that is. And then they were like, oh, it's 13 Reasons Why. I'm like, he has a band?
Yep. Their most popular song is still the one with Clairo. But they have released like 4 albums since then. This is their first. It's a lot of music in like 6 years, but... Wallows, Nothing Happens. Oh, my album of the year review is a 60 out of 100 and says I just liked it because it was so contradictory, which is I don't remember any of the songs except like 3 of them.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean that's.
It's just
on my first couple listens, yeah, that was me.
the funny thing of like, I don't remember any of it besides like a fourth of it. All the rest were just too boring to write down.
I feel like a lot of the songs were just kind of boring.
Yeah,
I think this is one that got better the more I listened to it, for sure.
see it. There were times that I liked it more than times that I didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I was so I've been giving my mom crap of like listening to our podcast religiously, but not listening to the music.
Yeah.
So I've been like, Mom, I'll give you like this is what you should sample, just so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at the Wallows stuff, and I was just like, hey, actually, Wallows only cusses once. I was like, it's a lot in that song, so avoid the song Scrawny, but like you could listen to it.
Just tell her to avoid Jane. Like don't even try. Don't.
But like, so a lot of the reviews on Album of the Year, which I wanted to make the joke, so I didn't want to use them, but the title was pretty telling.
Yeah, the joke kind of writes itself.
Yeah,
it was all over. There was like, oh, they weren't lying with the title. Or the title says what it is.
Yeah,
like darn, I've been thinking of that this whole month, and Album of the Year goes and use it 100 times. Not that I thought that was going to be an original idea, because it does write itself.
Yeah. But. I mean, I was actually like surprisingly pleased with this album, like, because I wasn't expecting much just from, it's like a celebrity band, you know.
Yeah, I think they did have the band before the celebrity status, though.
Like,
I think the band existed
like before he got famous, or like did he join afterwards?
No, there was the band. It's like him and his friends, and then 13 Reasons Why happened. Then the band got popular
because people were.
They like. Well, he even said that he was going to quit acting to then go and pay more attention to his band. So
I watched like a little YouTube short of them. Like they know their stuff. Like it was like them listing their top albums like that influenced them, and they had a lot of good stuff. Like they like mentioned Interpol, the Wilco or Yankee Foxtrot album. They had Black Keys on there, which. Not like super big on Black Keys, but like I see it. So like, well, I think once I watched that, it kind of was like, oh, like these guys are like for real. Like they're not just like in it.
It's not just a celebrity band.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I thought it was going to be like before I listened to it.
It is a band that existed, and then celebrity happened.
I didn't know they were celebrity when I was listening to them. I know them from like the song "Bad Dream," which my girlfriend listened to it.
Not even on here.
I know. I listened to that song, and I was hoping this album would have more songs like that or something. But she listened to that song, and then it reminded her of me and her.
It's like their 12th biggest song. It's not even like a popular one for them.
Yeah. I just like that one.
Okay.
And I was hoping for more of that here.
Also, you need to specify what dating your partner being a bad dream is. You gotta specify a little bit more.
I was trying to.
I know I stopped you, but...
Anyway, there's lyrics in there. It starts out with like something about grinding your teeth, and then like trying to stop them from grinding their teeth. And then my girlfriend grinds her teeth in her sleep a lot.
I do too.
And I'm constantly trying to stop her from grinding her teeth.
A mouth guard.
I gave her one and she lost it. She might have ate it. I don't know where it went.
I like that your description of your relationship went bad dream to then it's like grinding my teeth. That's like, Timmy, you're digging your hole. Like, are you in a happy relationship? I want to know what that sounds like though now. Like a different type of melody behind it.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe, and I liked it a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, just from that like 10 seconds of hearing that, it kind of just sounded like something that would be on this album,
give or take. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. So
I don't really either. I mean, my favorite song on here was "Are You Bored Yet?" My least favorite was "Scrawny."
Scrawny was my least favorite.
Yeah, that's rare that we're all in agreement on the least favorite. That's
like the second most popular song on this album.
Yeah, And it's not like the. I sound like such a stickler for cussing, but it's just so unnecessarily there, and it's the only song on the whole album that cusses.
I don't give a shit about cussing, and I think it's unnecessary in that song.
And also it's just a really repetitive chorus too.
It's stupid.
Like I guess it's upbeat, but like it's not a good song.
No. And it's so popular. It has 21 million plays.
Mm.
Yeah, I left feeling pretty positive about this album. Actually, not like super positive, but like it was a lot better than I thought it would be. Like there's some good moments here. Like really the first 4 tracks are all good. Treacherous Doctor is probably my favorite out of those 4. And then the ending song, Do Not Wait, is probably my favorite on the whole album. I think that's like a really interesting way to end this album. Like it doesn't sound anything like the rest of the album, and I like the build that they do of like the introspective storytelling, which I'm assuming it is. Like I think it's him like talking to like his younger self.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what it was about. I found it to be really annoying.
That was just like my interpretation of it. What You Like is also, it probably was my favorite until I started like appreciating Do Not Wait more. But yeah, then like the middle section is kind of rough. Like it's just it's like you got Scrawny, and then Worlds Apart is very forgettable. Yeah. Ice Cold Pool is okay, like the little guitar melody they have in it, but it goes on a little too long.
Mm-hmm. You know, I would say that the Do Not Wait does stand out for me, whereas this is an okay way to end an album. The first 4 probably as well. I don't know. The song just exists. It doesn't offend me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to say, like, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it.
I saw a review that was like, if you asked an AI to make like an indie rock record, like
kinda.
This is what it would be.
It just exists. I don't know.
But I mean,
I had a good time listening.
I don't like disagree with that statement, but like I feel like they deserve a little more credit because like I enjoyed most of my time with the album. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like maybe it's like the factor of surprise because like I went in expecting to not like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is probably, like Celebrity, just whatever. But
I was one of those people that way back then, when 13 Reasons Why Season 1 came out, I was like, oh, he has a band, I'll go check it out. And I was like, oh, this is what it sounds like. So I knew what I was getting into here.
I did not. I did not know that this existed until a month ago. So.
I don't know what they sound like now. They play places like Kimba Live around here, so they're doing like 3,000 to 5,000 capacities. They're playing outside. I feel like it's a good like Kimba Live outside show, probably like just a sit down, chill out, be at a concert kind of thing. Nothing bad. Nothing really stands out either.
Yeah, I could see like Sidelines and like Only Friend being like good outdoorsy.
Yeah, like if summer outdoor concert, like you're just kind of there just to hang out. And I think they're part of like to advertise Wallows as a tour. They're doing like they're part of that like $30 all ticket in thing for Ticketmaster. Like any kind of like, it'd probably be a good time. Cheap, good time.
I was kind of hoping for more of Clairo in Are You Bored Yet?
Yeah, me
like
too.
She's not really. I mean, she's in it, but like not as much as you would like. She's kind of just like a backing track. I was expecting like
something happened.
I was expecting her to have like a verse or something like it was a hip hop album thing.
Danny Brown pops in.
Yeah.
The Clairo, and she's out there going. Probably our shortest finale.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I pretty much said my piece. Like,
I don't have a whole lot.
I thought it was better than average. Like, I'll definitely go back to some of these songs. So,
I don't have a least or favorite. I'm curious now if they've like progressed the sound in the last 6 years. Like, if it's not just this the whole time, but it very well could be, and it's not insulting or. I don't know.
It's adequate.
It's there. It's nice to listen to when it's there. What would you rate
it? It was an easy listen. I'll give it a 6.
I'll give it a 5.5.
I'll go 5, so just 5.5.
Don't have to do that. All right.
No ducks on the table.
No Rev.
No Rev this time. Darn. I like our Rev episodes. They're fun.
They're a little hectic.
They are. And they only get more and more. More mobility means more hectic.
All right. So what do we got for the next episode?
So I've had this. I've been fighting with myself because I'm about to do something I don't normally do, or like doing because I feel like it breaks kind of the whole thing. There's an album that came out during this month, and all of these albums annoyed me a little bit more because I wasn't able to listen to what I actually wanted to listen to. Where Arm's Length released an album called "There's a Whole World Out There." We're gonna listen to it just so I can, really.
Because you haven't really got time with it.
I've listened to it a lot, but like every time I listen to either like the other two, I was like, I just want to go listen to Arm's Length again. Arm's Length, for those who don't know.
What are the other two, or is that supposed to be like a?
What?
What you said you listened to the other two albums.
Your guys's.
Okay.
Like the things that we were supposed to listen to.
I thought you meant another release that happened.
No, the thing we were supposed to listen to, I was like, it's keeping me from the new thing I want to listen to. And for those at home, Arm's Length is a band that is their debut album is what I call my favorite album ever. So like,
yeah, we covered that pre-podcast.
Never Before Seen, Never Again Found is my favorite album that I would say is like my number one of all time currently. Okay. So their follow-up to that came out, and I'm like, why do I still have to listen to Wallows when I can listen to Jane Remover when I could listen to Arm's Length?
Jane Remover and Arm's Length, very similar vibes.
Yeah. I got the vinyl ready, too.
Cool.
I got a mug.
Not to break your heart or nothing, but like I honestly don't remember much about the
You guys
Arm's
didn't
Length.
Really like it that much. It's just I didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember at all.
I think I remember saying it was mid.
Yeah. He has a very specific way of writing where like while it's depressing, it's also self-deprecating and also like devil's advocate optimistic. And I like it, just the writing style, and I think they've progressed their sound a bit in this one.
I didn't delete the album. So
hey, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
But like, there's also an eating disorder song on this album that like really hurt I'm Full because I feel like Arm's Length did it better, kind of thing. I was like, why would I listen to I'm Full when I could listen to The Wait by?
Because Reese's don't appear.
Or like There's a few lines, just to spoil it, just to like think of where my head comes from with Arm's Length. There's lines in that song where it's like, I'm going to butcher it because it's new and I don't know the lyrics verbatim yet, but it's like, he talks about having an eating disorder and saying like, it's making him better at hide and seek. And like there's just very specific weird things where I'm like, oh, that's like self-deprecating and like optimistic, but also really depressing. And there's also, like, in that same song, there's, like, you aren't what you eat because then I'd be nothing. And it's just like, whoa. Arm's Length guy, whoa. But, yeah. I'm excited for this one.
All right.
But I'm going to hurt myself because I have a problem with recency bias. And I know that.
Yeah.
We're on a bit of a streak here with 2025 albums.
This came out.
You're keeping it alive. I'm not doing one, but...
I'm not either.
You guys aren't doing something that came out last week.
No. I already did that. Do you want to go ahead, Timmy?
Sure. Mine came out 10 years ago.
Is it Blurryface?
Nope.
Dart.
Currents by Tame Impala.
Okay.
Okay, I was going to say, that's an album that's, like, been in the, like, I haven't listened to it, but I really want to. And I've been procrastinating it for, I don't know, I guess about 10 years now. So
Yeah.
I've heard a couple songs on it,
Yeah.
and I liked what I heard. So
I've listened to about half of it so far. And there's been a few songs on here that I've heard every so often.
I think it's like The Less I Know, The Better.
Yeah.
We are recording May 25th for those at home. This album came out May 16th. So 9 days ago. I've also seen them since then too. Like, they opened There's a Whole World Out There tour in Columbus.
Huh.
So I've seen a lot of live debuts from this album too. They played like 5 songs they'd never played before. Pretty neat. They sold a Tamagotchi too. That's this
Yeah.
band. It was the cheapest thing on the merch table too.
Really?
It's $10. Like,
I mean,
my brain, like, just the pipeline, like, because this is how my brain works. I was like, how cheap is it to get branded Tamagotchis that then you could turn around and make a profit selling them for $10 a piece?
well, it's not a real Tamagotchi.
Yes, it is. It's Tamagotchi branded.
No, it can't be.
Yes.
It has 4 buttons for one thing.
Oh, I know.
Tamagotchi only have 3 buttons.
Well, now you can, like, jump, maybe.
No, you can't.
I haven't even turned it on. I haven't taken it out of the package.
they sell like off-brand fake Tamagotchis at Dollar Tree. I've seen someone
Okay.
buy one on TikTok or something.
Yeah, I was surprised because like a hat's $35, so I was like, what is the hat price per product versus Tamagotchi?
I know a lot about Tamagotchi. I can tell when one's
How much is it to make it? If we made album sharing session Tamagotchis, how much would the production cost be?
I think it would be a lot. I've looked into like people making them.
Yeah.
And it seems very difficult.
And how much of it would be tariffs?
I don't know.
Like where it was $1
Let's
before,
not-
maybe it's $10.
Let's not get into
now.
that.
Probably be a lot more now.
There are 150% tariff increase on Tamagotchi production. What's your album brand?
if they come from China. So we're gonna stay with the high energy album, just not electronic this time, more punk rock-esque. But this album came out in 2018. It is Joy as an Act of Resistance by Idols.
Yeah.
So
Idol's the home team's first band.
I don't think so.
It's spelled different.
I'd be very shocked if
It is the same name, but
There's
it
a
is
lot
spelled
of old
different.
man butt in this.
Yeah.
Old man butt. Oh, I see. I thought it was gonna be like naked. I was like, how am I gonna put that on YouTube?
Yeah, so we're listening to the Hotelier's second album.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening to our episode 21 of the album sharing sessions. Ironically enough, the 21 Pilot Flag episode 21.
Oh man, dude, I just realized that.
That wasn't on purpose either. It was just like, oh, this is our 21st episode, and I'm doing 21 Pilot. Just coincidence. Yeah. If you've made it this long, thank you. Subscribe, comment, play along. It's fun.
Keep out for our shorts.
Yeah,
maybe they might be YouTube shorts. They might just be
if it ever
videos,
comes
but
out.
Yeah, we're
That's the goal.
working on expanding a little bit.
Yeah. But have a good 3 weeks.
Bye.
Have fun playing along.
See ya.
Bye-bye.